and he happens to be an NRM-leaning lawyer. Good to have you, Counsel. A very good morning.
A very good morning to you, my brother. Happy to be here again.
The pleasure is ours.
Yes, I greet our viewers that a very good morning to you, whoever who is watching us from wherever you are. I congratulate those who have got good things this morning, and also take the opportunity to pass my condolences and sympathies to those who have challenges and those who have lost their dear ones, that may the good Lord comfort you all. I wish you a good presentation.
Amen. Thank you. First of all, I want to congratulate you, being a lawyer, on having another or a new president of the Uganda Law Society. That is Mr. Isaac Asema Kade. I saw him take a broom, and the broom is holding. He's like he wants to clean the Uganda Law Society. Clean all the dirt out of the society. Not only, by the way, clean the society, but also Uganda, where he talks about, for example, throwing Mr. Kiriwa Kiwanuka from the office of the Attorney General, accusing him of double standards, accusing him of a conflict of interest. That why should he continue being an Attorney General and continue possessing a law firm that is K&K? First of all, congratulations on electing him as your president.
Well, I congratulate him with his cabinet, senior counsel, Isaac Asema Kade. But also, I want to tell him that we have a duty as Ugandans to see that this country moves, especially under the rule of law, and also make sure that we emphasize professionalism in the legal fraternity. So I want to congratulate him with his cabinet upon being elected as the president. But also, the point you're trying to put forward, I don't see any harm in somebody being Attorney General and having a law firm, because before you
have you listened to his concerns first?
Yes, before you having or being an Attorney General, you ought to have a law firm, and you ought to have practiced law. Actually, Article 119 of the 1995 Constitution speaks about the Attorney General, and how do you become an Attorney General? You ought to have practiced law for 10 years. In Uganda, there is no way you're going to practice law when you don't have a law firm. So very many Attorney Generals have been in office and while holding law firms. I can give you an example.
There are many of them. I remember
Bat Magunda,
Katrere, the Kid Makowiyas, all
yes,
law firms.
yes,
the Peter Nyombis, all those people.
Absolutely, Fred Ruhindi.
So a precedent has already been set. That's what you say.
But anyway, I don't think there is any harm for somebody to become an Attorney General while holding a law firm.
What are his concerns again?
For him, he's talking about the double standards, but it is upon him to prove what kind of double standards he's talking about.
Because it's like, there's conflict of interest. That's the first concern, where he says that this one is the Attorney General. And so it means that he's going to be directing all the state cases to his law firm. The law firm is going to be benefiting big, because after all, he's the one who's in charge. So he's diverting or directing all the state cases to his law firm.
Well,
you don't find this concern holding water?
Well, I don't know what he bases on, but the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs has its own lawyers. Actually, has Attorney General, state attorneys, and lawyers directly who go to courts of law as lawyers from the chambers of the Attorney General. So I don't know what he's talking about, that there is going to be, that conflict of interest and what. It is him to prove now that he's the president of the law firm, of the Uganda Law Society. So he's there. We hope in his tenure of 1 year, maybe he has to, prove to us this, and
He who alleges carries the burden to
yeah,
prove.
he must prove to us, and then we see exactly what he's talking about.
But as a lawyer, I want you to speak to me objectively. How KK, that is Kiriwa Kionika, is performing. And there also said that, look, first of all, his appointment came as a reward. We are talking about a man who has been representing President Museveni in presidential petitions. His law firm, the K&K, Karujira and Kiwanuka. It is the one that has been representing the president in court. So his appointment, clearly, it was a reward for his big job he has been doing for the NRM, right?
But he also has the competence.
And nobody has questioned his competence, right? So we are talking about this appointment of out of patronage, which also kind of paints bad politics.
I don't know the one you call that a reward. But for me, what I know is that being an attorney general is a government. You are equal to a cabinet government, yeah, level.
He sits in the cabinet.
Yeah, he sits in the cabinet. So the appointment of a cabinet minister or a cabinet government level official is always, subjected to vetting by the yes, appointments committee. Sure. And so if it vets him and they find him fit for the job, I don't think there is any any discussion further into that.
But I think before this came up, I've not seen anybody question the competence of Mr. KK. I haven't seen any. Even those who don't agree with him, they're like, yes, we disagree and they're here, but when it comes to serving, nobody questions his competence as an attorney general. They find him fit to serve in that position. But
why do you go for attorney generals and yet the deputy attorney generals also have the law firms? The deputy attorney general.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, when you talk about the attorney general, he's also talking about his deputy as well.
No, but you see, there is going personal onto somebody.
This is personal,
and not the office. So you are speaking about the attorney general, Kiriwa Kiwanuka, him holding a law firm, but all the deputy attorney generals who have been in office also have been having law firms. As we talk now, Deputy Attorney General Honorable Jackson Kafuzi, he's a partner at Rwakafuzi and Company Advocates. And I think the predecessor was Mwesu Gwarukutana. He has a law firm. You know it very well.
Practicing lawyers.
Yes. He's one of the lawyers in the Katanga case.
I know.
So now, what is wrong with that?
That's what you call a precedent, right?
No. Anyway, that's maybe that Sonia Semakad is now in possession of a great job as the
Uganda Law Society president. He can do anything about that? I don't think he can reverse anything. In other words, his opinion is like, if the president is to appoint, it doesn't matter which president. But if he's to appoint an attorney general, then that attorney general, once he assumes office as the attorney general, he should dissolve his law firm. That is Makade's concern.
No, that's not fair. Anyway, but you cannot say somebody has a law firm and you tell him to dissolve it. Now, after the attorney general position
in Museveni's cabinet, where people don't have job security, the man wakes up in the morning and fires you.
That's what I'm telling you. After the
where are you going to start from?
After the attorney general's, job or him being, not reappointed by the president, where is he going to go? See. You're telling him to dissolve and more so. This is not a one-man's chamber.
The attorney general.
The law firm. Yes.
That's why they scare K.
The associates, the partners, and what? You cannot say somebody go and resolve a law firm. No. I think that is not fair to me. And maybe that one has to look into that matter further.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Counsel, as a lawyer, as a member of the Uganda Law Society, what are those things that you feel the new president should work upon are there some issues that, if objectively speaking, that you feel that they really need to be realigned or rectified in the society to make it a better one? Where you're comfortable with where the environment in which you're operating in as a lawyer?
Well, we must agree to disagree, but in principle, where there is something that has not, been put in place or properly as we think, but not losing decorum. In any disagreement, we must not lose, decorum as lawyers, or as members of the legal fraternity. So, if there is anything that we have disagreed on, we must not, go beyond the points of the public seeing us as losing decorum in the public domain. So that's what I want to emphasize further, that yes, much as there are certain things we may think they have not been done or put in their right places, but we must agree or disagree objectively, not, insult. Yeah, not insults, not going personal, not if we are all aiming at the same goal.
Okay, then that's a good thing. Now, Council, I want us to shift the debate, take you to Parliament, where we should start with Mr. Mpuuga Mathias, the former leader of opposition, who is bringing a bill, and among the things that are entailed in his bill, he says that there is need to restore the term limits. And you remember, Ugandans, when the term limits were, lifted from the constitution. That was in 2005, and it is alleged that this didn't go without, a reward. The members of Parliament then were awarded 5 million each. Like I said earlier, it is alleged, and that money, was given to them, somewhere around Mosakot. So they were removed, and that's the reason why we still have President Museveni, serving this long, because they had no barrier in terms of, limitation on term limits. Now, here, Mathias Mpuuga wants to have them restored. And the other thing he's talking about is the reducing of Parliament in size. He's concerned that the Parliament is too big. It's needed to have all these members of Parliament. He doesn't find, it justifiable to have such a big number of, legislators. And also, he's talking about the creation of an upper house. Council, these are things I'm pointing out to you. To begin with, the term limits. Is there a need to have them restored?
Well, it is his mandate as a member of Parliament. He's acting within his constitutional mandate as a member of Parliament to propose to bring a private member's bill. Like other members of Parliament have been doing so. Of recent, we've had the one of Honorable Rumu.
Richard Rumu.
Yes, as a private member's bill. And very many, even was it yesterday, Honorable Saro Pendi was granted also leave to bring the other marriage bill, you remember, the 2024, and also Honorable Murima Mayoni, Abdallah Chiwanuka of Mukono North, Mukono Heart, stand to be corrected. But he also was also granted leave to bring his private member's bill on the amendment of the Magistrates Court Act, where he's talking about the pecuniary value of those courts. So it is within the law. When you look at Article 94, Clause 4B, where a member of Parliament has a right to move a private member's bill. So it is within the law. But when you are exercising your constitutional mandate, you must also have what we call other accompanying, legal documents for you to bring that bill. First of all, we can look at the certificate of financial implication that is being awarded to, or given to you by the Ministry of Finance, and so you bring it for the, I mean, to the floor of Parliament for the first reading, subjected to legal affairs parliamentary committee, then second reading, third reading, like that. But what Honorable Mathias Mpuga is bringing, one, I can look at as the time frame. The time itself.
The timing.
Yes, timing. You know, we can all we can all bring what we call private members bill as members of parliament, but the question is the timing. Is it the right time for you to bring that private members bill? That is the question of the day. And so, if the time is not on our side or not on your side, who is moving this, then we look at that his bill is also can also be subjected to a referendum. And for us to go in the referendum, like the ones we are saying, that we have the upper parliament, we have the lower parliament, you know, all those ones have to be subjected to Ugandans.
Yeah, of course, still a
So-
referendum. You know how costly a referendum is.
Absolutely, that's what I'm telling you, that we look at the timing and the money.
If that is the case, Council, it's as if you're suggesting or saying that in the first place, when they were lifting the term limits way back in 2005, they should have engaged all Ugandans. That's what you're saying. If its restoration needs a referendum, well then its lifting should also have needed a referendum.
I remember these members of parliament were subjected to consultative, consultations. They were told to go and consult
The constituents.
yes, the voters, the constituents, but many of them did not go there because, I mean, because of various reasons. Some of them were with them here in Kampala, in the capital city, and so they don't intend to go for consultations. But the right thing would be, if there is anything or there is any bill that has been brought in the, parliament by a member, it should be very vital for these members of parliament to consult at least those who give them the mandate to come to parliament.
And that is the Ugandans.
Yes. So, I think that would be the right thing to go.
But in your opinion, do you think that term limits are needed? If it is a need. Because if you can remember the spirit in which they were introduced, everybody can tell, even the blind, that look, these were lifted to benefit a certain individual who has benefited already from them. You know, the man was supposed to not continue leading this country in 2006. He's been here for more than close to 2 decades. 2 decades actually. You know, thanks to the lifting of the term limits. So you could see that he was the target beneficiary of this lifting of the term limits. Now, whether they are restored or not, it doesn't concern him. And I don't think he's going to block this in any way.
But you see,
If at all he has been blocking, you know.
President is in that position because of the will of the Ugandans. Yes. So had it not been for the will of the Ugandans, he would not have been in a, in the position of being elected as president. So I think this does not only benefit president himself as an individual, but it also, creates a wider awareness of the will of Ugandans. That now we have the mandate, we have the power to elect our leaders, and it is us to know how we are going to be governed. So I think it cannot be a one man's, benefit, but it is a benefit for all Ugandans.
Let's take a break. Council Nsima. Be right back, fellow Ugandans who are watching. The day break continues shortly after this break. Don't go.
ziryo wetaaga okutumbula ekitone eky'omukuyimba kano kikasiireko BTM TV akuletedde Raise Your Mic yimba ate ensonga za kuyimbira ku live band ngate abawanguzi bakwewangulya ebirabo eby'enjawulo okuli obukadde bw'ensimbi 5 pikipiki kapyata okulikodinga nyimba mu audio ne video n'ebirabo ebirala bingi obwetaba mu Raise Your Mic genda ku simu yo nyiga *2M7 *007# olondeko option ya Raise Your Mic olondeko option ya participate osindike message butereevu ojja kuba weetabe mu auditions wano ku BTM TV abaana babayiseemu ku mutendera oguddako bakulondebwa abalabi baffe aba BTM era beewangulira ebirabo biwugiddwa Simba Automotives ne bikutuusibwako BTM TV.
Don't miss on BTM.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're excited to bring you a brand new show titled Jazz with Cyrus. Have you desired to listen to saxophone music, flute music, harp music, trumpet music, keyboards? There'll be lots of guests, there'll be lots of music and fun and inspirational talk. Join us every Friday, 6 p.m. with Miss Cyrus.
Sit back and relax with BTM. We don't miss on BTM.
Do you love traveling and exploring different cultures? Do you want to experience the beauty of nature and learn about different societies? We've got the ultimate show for you. Tourism in Uganda, a brand new show that highlights the rich cultural heritage, majestic wildlife, and scenic landscapes Uganda has to offer. It's a show that takes you on an adventure and leaves you breathless every step of the way. Uganda is home to some of the most magnificent wild animals in their natural habitat, from lions to elephants. This show helps you get close to them. This show will take you to the heart of Uganda's communities to experience the Ugandan way of life, from bustling marketplaces to traditional dance ceremonies and food tasting. There is always something unique in the corner. Tourism in Uganda. Explore the Pearl of Africa with us.
Sit back and relax with BTM. We transform.
Thank you so much for staying with us. You're still watching the Daybreak. My name is Adirisa Mwonge. I'm here with counsel Ninsima Gachibayo. He's a lawyer and he's also a political analyst, as we are discussing what is transpiring in Parliament, and that is the bills that Mr. Mpuga, is planning to table. We've been discussing the nitty-gritty of some of the elements of this bill, where he's talking about the restoration of the term limits, where he's talking about the reducing of Parliament in size. Counsel Ninsima, when Mpuga, who happens to be also a member of Parliament, gets concerned about the size of the house, do you think this concern of his carries water? This is something that every Ugandan has been concerned about. That it's, first of all, it's not necessary to have all these legislators. What for? Do you feel that he has a good point here when he says that the size of Parliament should be reduced? Well,
not every idea in his proposed bill is not beneficial to this country. But I'm telling you, much as we are concerned about the reduction of Parliament, that the parliamentarians are very many in number, that we need a reduction, but we have to look at two things.
The consequences? Does it have consequences?
No. I am saying these members of Parliament are being elected by Ugandans from their respective constituencies. And two, the gazetted areas that this one is a constituency, the other one is a constituency, was done in the same parliament where he sits from, where he is. So I think I think it goes back to one, to the August House where he sits and where he presides over as a member of parliament, and also, you know, the debate, the huge debate to the Ugandans. Do we still need all these numbers of legislators? And more so, when you compare the numbers and the outcomes, what outweighs the other? So I think that one has to, you know, be subjected to a greater discussion, not only in the 11th Parliament, August House, but also to all Ugandans, to come up with the, you know, a solution to this. Because when you say, yes, we have to reduce the number of these legislators, but we're saying it is the same parliament that passed the proposals of creating these constituencies.
Yeah, they maybe have been the ones who passed, but later on they internalize and they're like, no, it's unnecessary. Because you've seen, look, this is a waste of taxpayers' money. We could divert this money that we spend on members of parliament salaries on other developmental, you know, projects. So that is his concern. And if he talks of, for example, a district having member of parliament representing the women, and also just for member of parliament, when you look at the size of the districts that we are having, there are some districts that you just need one member of parliament to represent the women and then also to represent the entire constituency or the entire district.
But what does Article 78 of the 1995 Constitution say about the composition of parliament? There is the direct elected member of parliament, there is a woman representative of parliament, there is, I mean, those group, the interest groups, the army, yes, the army, the youth, the workers,
the elderly. And it just reminds me of how I've seen so many people disturbed by the fact that the army is represented. In your opinion, do you think that it's healthy to have the army represented in parliament? I've seen so many people concerned about this. They're like, it was a huge mistake that you made, the NRM government made, to bring the army. It's like making them get engaged in partisan politics, which is not healthy.
No, but you see, much as you're saying that it is not useful for the army to be represented in parliament, the framers of our constitution, the 1995 constitution, mentioned it categorically clear under Article 78, the composition of parliament, and they brought, you know, I think in clause C, where they are talking about those groups, the army, the elderly, the what.
So the army also becomes a special interest group.
Yeah, it comes as a group that is being
aside, away from the law council. I say whatever is saying, you're going back to the 1994 constitution. It's as if you're suggesting that the makers of that constitution were angels. No, they are not. I want you as a political analyst.
That's why it is subjected to amendment.
Yeah, so I don't want, when I ask a question, sometimes I ask it out of your understanding as a citizen of this country and as a lawyer. Do you really feel it is necessary to have the military, men and women, sit in that August House? That also said that this was the beginning of having them engaged in partisan politics.
No, much as
that's why we have them, you know, appear on talk shows or tweeting, using social media, making partisan statements, which is not healthy for this country, you know that.
But you see, much as there are army men and women in uniforms, but that does not, you know, take away their rights and freedoms as enshrined in Chapter 4, especially the Article 29(1, the freedom of expression, the freedom of speech. You know, for as long as it does not bring in anything that would antagonize or bring a challenge in the peace of others. Yes, much as they are army men and women, but they have that constitutional right. Secondly, there is no harm in the army being in parliament, for as long as, you know, they go by their constitutional, Article 208, Clause 2, that they are not supposed to be non-partisan. They are disciplined, they are national in character, for as long as they bear into that and with their UPDF Act. I don't think they have any problem. And whoever goes or acts contrary to the law is subjected to a disciplinary action.
Events that have been transparent in this country.
I've seen many of them being.
Considering events that have been transparent in this country, Council, you've seen military men make partisan statements, come out, to intercept opposition politicians, make even political statements. Do you still believe that these people are non-partisan?
Yeah, but whoever acts contrary to the laws and guidelines of the UPDF, I've always seen them being handled in accordance with the law. So I don't think the army being represented in parliament makes them, involved into partisan politics.
We can't have to get out of here. Do you have any parting shots to me?
Well, I want to thank whoever has been watching us from wherever you are, and also tell Ugandans that much as we have different political affiliations, we remain Ugandans. Let us, let us, do whatever it takes to promote and also take this country further, because it is ours and it belongs to all of us. So we don't need to say this one is for this political affiliation, the other one is for this political affiliation, but also,
Uganda first.
Uganda first.
That's what you're saying.
So yes, I wish you a blessed day and enjoy your day.
Thank you so much. Council Nsimaga Chibaye there for you. Thank you so much, our dear viewers. We've come to the end of this edition of the Daybreak. My name is Idrissa Mwonge. Till we meet again, that will be at the hour of 9.